Dozens of civilians are dead in Damascus after militants hit a market with a mortar fire today. Meanwhile, thousands continue to flee into government-held territory as the Syrian army retakes Eastern Ghouta. Dan Cohen has more.
At least 35 are dead and many more injured, according to Syrian state media, after shells ripped through the Jaramana market in the Kashkul neighborhood of Damascus. This footage depicts a scene of horror moments after the mortar struck. At a Damascus hospital, surgeons worked to save the lives of those they could.
3 of my relatives are injured. My wife and daughter are in surgery right now.
My son told me he wanted to celebrate Mother's Day with me, so I told him, let's go to the market. He bought a cake. I was buying sweets when the explosion happened. I saw only a lot of dust and my children under the table.
Back at the scene of the attack, locals described a bloodbath as workers cleared debris.
We heard the sound and then we came outside. All we saw was dust. When the dust was gone, it was like a massacre.
Meanwhile, the Russian army says it found 40 tons of chemical weapons and production facilities in areas liberated from militants. This comes weeks after the Russian Reconciliation Center in Syria said it had obtained information that militants in Eastern Ghouta had been preparing a provocation with the use of poisonous substances in order to blame the government forces of using chemical weapons against civilians. Syrians continue to flee to government-held territory through humanitarian corridor checkpoints established as part of daily 5-hour ceasefires. The journey is perilous. This man says he was shot in the throat by a sniper as he evacuated. Syrian and Russian troops are distributing aid to malnourished civilians and treating the wounded, many of whom had been hiding in their basements amid fierce battles just outside their homes. While the campaign to liberate Eastern Ghouta appears to be nearing its end, the casualties continue to mount. In Washington, Dan Cohen, RT.